to the field by the schoolhouse and all those grain bins. We're just stopped before starting the next field. It's another beautiful day and it's supposed to be beautiful, so welcome to a day in the life of harvest on our Montana farm. I have to film. This is a baby pheasant and we never hardly see them anymore. Oh my goodness. I see a pheasant and he's in my wheat swath. I just radioed and said that.
What is that, Kate?
A pheasant.
Oh, well, don't run him through the combine.
No, I won't. I think it's a baby.
Sort to make him do the right thing and get out of your swath.
Okay, so I'm just going to creep forward and hopefully he moves. Oh, he's over here now. Oh my goodness, but he's so cute. Oh.
Are you seeing that?
Dad, there's really miniature baby pheasants. Oh my gosh, they are like maybe an inch big and they're all in the swath. Oh my gosh, I have to go and video this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. I hope I didn't hit any of them. Oh my gosh. So I'm going down and there's little tiny baby pheasants, so I'm gonna go find them. They should be in here somewhere. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. Oh no, the mom ran away. Where are the babies? Oh, I can hear them. I can hear them. Oh no, I don't know what to do. Footsteps. I know they're close. And we want to make sure we save them because I didn't hurt them yet and it's so good that they were further ahead in the wheat swath. I'm going to go ask my dad. Let's see. But the babies keep just going forward a little bit further forward in the wheat swath. They're not going out.
Well, if you know where they're at, just leave a little bit of it and then we'll pick it up later.
Okay, so we're going to leave the pheasants home. We're going to pick it up later because that was nice of my dad to say. I know the mom probably went 20 feet down. I don't know where the little babies are, so I heard their footsteps like 10 feet in front, but they might have went a little further. I just don't know where to cut back in.
So just leave a little section, Kate, and we'll come back right again and grab it.
Okay, that's good. I don't want to hurt them. They were microscopic and so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm looking for them right now. I cannot see them. Thinking maybe cut back in like here. Or maybe a bit further. Just want to make sure they're not there. I think I'm actually just going Oh my gosh, okay. That's good. I'm so glad I caught that. You don't pay attention to your combine. Like I said in the previous episode, you can't save birds' lives. Okay. I just got out to check they weren't in right where I'm gonna get in. Alright, so I'll keep you posted. Let's turn our combine on and save the birds. I'm gonna make really sure that there's none in here. They are about an inch big. That is how small.
Remember that snake down at Great Falls who was sitting on top of the road gate?
Yes, that was crazy.
Good place to hide these swaths. If I was an animal, I'd hide here.
My dad just said if he was the animal, he'd hide here too. It's a good place to hide. I couldn't believe I saw them. They were maybe an inch big and there was at least 5 of them. They must be newborns.
I hope they make a new plan before the end of the field.
I'm hoping everything's okay. I haven't seen them come out yet. I haven't seen the mom come out, so I don't know where they are. I know she went a little bit further and hid back in the wheat field, or in the swath. They came out to the left side, so I'm just checking. Oh! I see the mom right again. Do I just keep going, or?
I'll just push her, Kate. Try not to run over her, you know. She can't stop all day, so you gotta scare it out.
Pretty sure there's no babies in this swath. It's in the part I left is where they were in. She's just right in front of my swath. I don't even know if you'd be able to see her if I put the camera out. But, see right there, that little bird. Poor little bird. Oh, I feel terrible. She wants her little babies. Aww. You immediately shut the header off and the back off if you see anything relatively close. I did leave the swath and they are in it. Can I maybe try and go in front of the bird?
What, Kate?
Can I try and go in front of the bird? Because she just keeps moving forward in the swath. And she's looking for her little babies, and I feel so bad.
Well, we're gonna have to pick them up for this field ends anyway, Kate. I mean, that's just the way it is. But, you know, that bird, when you pull out, Kate will keep running, trying to get ahead of you. It might go back. It's, you know, it's hard to say. I know what you mean about
I'm going to leave her a little part, see if I'm just going to drive over here to see if it helps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut my header off and idle it down so she's not going to run away anymore. I think we've covered it, so now she can go back to her little babies. Oh, another little bird. Well, this bird can fly away. Pheasants don't really fly. I mean, they can a little bit, but see, she doesn't want to because she has babies. There's another little bird that keeps running in
Kate,
there.
I'm gonna swap your rows because I gotta have an outside one to dump.
Okay, sounds good. Gotta be really careful when you're a combine driver. It's very important work. I don't want to hurt them, and we have to pick it up. I realize that, but I don't know. I just don't want to hurt them. I think we're clear. Oh, no. The little bird wants the other side. He's not a pheasant though, but he's still cute. So he's a baby. Aww. I don't know why the baby birds just like to stay in the swath, but I came across another one, not a pheasant, but he just won't get out either. But he keeps running, so that's good.
Yeah, I had that same one, I think.
I don't know, I think I have to get out and save this one too. I'm getting out to save this bird also, because it needs saving and it won't move. So I'm just going to go move him over. Oh, there he is. Oh, come here. Ugh, he just flew back into the swath. There's nothing I can do about it. I think I'll accept that. He gets really close to my header, so that's scaring me. Okay, we didn't hurt any birds. We saved them all, and I was not going to stop until every single bird was okay. They got a little scared because their home was being picked up. Now, if you have a farming or ranching or or agriculture story of your own, make sure to comment down below or email me so I can share your story as well, because this is not only my family farm, this is what all farmers and ranchers and people in agriculture do. So everyone can have food on their table, and we need to share those stories. Oh my goodness, that's a huge cricket. I want my platform to be a place where all of the great stories about agriculture are shared. There's at least 6 hawks here. A couple of them flew away, but they're right there. Now, I decided to get some wheat because I always get a little bit of wheat at harvest, and in order to keep it good you have to put some sort of shellac on it. But I went out in the wheat swath and picked this up, and now it's my passenger while I'm roading to lunch. But I did get quite a bit of it, and it's a little scratchy. I think I might have gotten a wheat sliver, but it was kind of challenging to open up the bag and get it in here. It has a couple of holes, but I got quite a bit of it. This is not a huge amount of wheat though. Maybe this is $1's worth, 25 cents. And then here, you might be able to see them. We're going by the 2 combines kind of over there on the other side of the field. So I'm probably going to put these in the back of my dad's pickup. So they're not my passenger anymore, although that's a little bit sad. It's kind of crowded, and I don't want any wheat to fall or get everywhere. All the way up by the highway is where we're parked to eat lunch. Alright, well, I'll check back after lunch. Here's a little close-up of the wheat I have as my passenger. Right now, I'm going to have a combine snack, and today I've chosen an orange. Our awesome cook has brought oranges out. She brings like snacks for us, so we can choose between chips or candy or oranges, or sometimes there was an apple or bananas every lunch to hold us through until dinner. So I grabbed 2 oranges, not just one, and I'm very excited to have one right now. I'm just driving combine. It's not really eventful, so I don't have to have my hands on the steering wheel. Since we're talking about food, we could talk about wheat can be used for more things. It can be used than just food and flour. It can be used for wheat bouquets, like a flower bouquet. And that's always super fun. I plan on doing that. That's what those garbage bags of wheat were for. I might actually grab more. I did get the wheat garbage bags out of here, but there's still some remnants of my outing I had today. But it can also be ground into flour, and you can make delicious pastries. So maybe one video will have to be me grinding the wheat up and making it into flour, and then possibly baking with it. Very delicious. Ooh, something really interesting that happened is on the, let's see, I'm headed north right now, so on the pass going south, and we call the rows we call them passes, like I'm on the south pass or the north pass or the west or the east, because we swath around and around. Anyway, when I was on the south pass, I saw 2 semi-truck drivers go by, so I waved at them out the window and they waved at me, and I think that's always fun. Although I don't know who they are and they're not part of our operation, I think it's always fun to wave at everyone. And then I saw a pickup truck driving down the highway, and I waved at them also. And when people drive by, they always look at the combines, and so they always see you and they always wave back. I've never met a person who hasn't waved back, even when I'm driving in my car on the road. It's a very nice farming community here. We won't be cutting my Uncle Chris's lentils this year because you have to have a different type of header for that. that. One that molds to the ground. It's called a flex header, I believe. And we don't combine with those, so he's hiring people to do that. But it'll be very interesting to kind of watch that. Now, I actually have an example of when you don't wear the proper attire for combining. It can be very scratchy. I did wear the proper attire today. I have a fairly nice top on with blue jeans, and not to forget my earrings. But I did go out and get the wheat and put it in the garbage bag, so you won't probably be able to tell now. It looks like it's settled. But on my arm, I had kind of, not like I said in a previous episode, not really a rash, but it doesn't feel the best at all. And it gets very red and irritated when the crops rub on your arms, which is why you wear blue jeans and boots. Also to mention, I saw the biggest cricket ever. He was like the size of my hand. Well, maybe not quite. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but he was definitely very large. He was probably the size of at least my thumb. When I was outside getting the wheat, that was kind of scary, actually. It was so huge, it was a little bit scary. Oh, I forgot to set my bushels per acre. Next time I dump, I will. I have this little bushels per acre where it says here. That's the bushels per acre thing, and then you move the button down, let's see, 2 bushels per acre, and it says what you're getting, but 63.4. Oh no, my header shut off because I got off the seat. As you can see, this is also what it would look like if you plugged up your combine. The procedure for this is shut the back off, shut the front off, idle it down, and then this is, it still looks like this. So now that you've idled it down, you can turn the back of the machine back on, the front back on, and then rev it up so all those lights go away. Because you can't run your combine at turtle speed, you have to run it at rabbit speed, or else you'll get lights. So that's what it's on right now. They make it pretty easy, like auger in, auger out, and the rabbit and the turtle. And then rabbit and turtle for everything that revolves speed. So let's put my header on the ground. Now, where my camera usually sits on its tripod is in this cup holder. So I thought I'd give you a different view this time of kind of my whole control panel and what it looks like for me to operate the combine. You see a bit of that, and you see me driving it. And then obviously if the camera's here, you can see the green part when I do dumps on the go. My window's almost full, it's not quite full, so I have a little ways to go. I'll usually go until the buzzer goes off, and then I go ahead and radio and tell the cart guy I need him here. We just finished dinner. We had ribs and a delicious broccoli salad and watermelon, of course. All dinner we talked about how I saved the pheasants. Ooh, that was a very large bumblebee that was just in my window. Oh, and then Darcy, our truck driver, he said he saw me digging around in the wheat to see if I could find them. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more about what farmers do and to learn something. And make sure to like this video as well, and comment down below anything else you may want to see, as well as your story if you have one to share and you would like me to share it. And go follow Kate's Egg on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest. And Facebook and Pinterest, it's just Kate's Egg. And egg, some people pronounce it ag. I have a hard time saying it that way, but eggs is AG, and it stands for agriculture, actually. So on Instagram, the handle is Kate's, so KATES_AG. And I post on there 4 times a week, but come back here every week on Wednesday at 11 and you'll see a new video. What we grow on our farm is wheat and barley, mostly. That's pretty much what everyone in our area grows as well. We don't veer off from that too much. My uncle Uncle Chris experiments sometimes with different fun crops. For example, this year he's doing lentils. Some other years ago he did corn. And that's about it that's grown here. We grow winter and spring wheat, and then we grow barley. And it's malt barley, so it's used for beer. And a lot of people grew barley this year, but my dad's telling me they're having a hard time selling it. Right now we're still on winter wheat, and eventually we'll probably either do, well, barley or spring wheat next, but we'll probably do barley next. Barley's always fun to cut. You use a different type of combine header, so I'll make sure to explain that. And they're 30 feet wide. The ones I'm using now are only 15, and then the other two combines, theirs are 16 feet for the pickup header and 45 feet, I believe, for the big header. We love our John Deere combines. We pretty much only run, well, actually, I don't even know if we only run John Deere and haven't ran John Deere for really forever. They just work, and they work really well, and we can rely on them. Some people like, I guess, the red combines, or the, I believe there's a yellow one also, but we stick to John Deere. You look in the back of your window, well, either while you dump or while it's filling with grain, and you see how clean your wheat is, because on the inner workings of the combine, it has to take the wheat from the swath, and it basically moves it around to get the grain, the wheat kernel out, and after that it goes back here. But you have to, sometimes if it's not getting it fully out of the kernel, or it gets some stem in there, you don't want that, and you don't want to sell your wheat like that either. You want just the grain, so you have to make sure the inner workings of the combine are set to the right setting, otherwise you're not going to get clean grain in your grain tank. And there's two things that pretty much do that. You have your concave and you have your sieves. We get a lot of crickets in the swaths. It's pretty good size. And then the other two combines are up there. That way over there is the field, the kind of yellowish field is the field we just got done cutting, and then the gray looking fields they're kind of grayish black looking. They are called,
stay down there, Austin, you don't have to come up here.
They're called summer fallow.
Alrighty.
And that basically means if you're going to leave a field in summer fallow, you don't plant anything in it that year, just to kind of give it a break. So this field was planted with wheat, winter wheat, obviously, but not the next field over, even though this is all part of one strip. You do it in different portions. Oh, one year we grew chickpeas. Chickpeas were going for quite a bit. So my dad grew chickpeas, and then everyone kind of started growing chickpeas, so the price ended up going down. So you don't really see any chickpeas around anymore, and chickpeas are a lot more work and a lot more time consuming. So it's really hard to sell them right now. So if it's a little bit harder to sell and it's a lot more time consuming, it just doesn't add up. My dad was in town today selling our other grain cart, because the grain cart we have now is not the tractor part, but the back part. That it's the actual cart. It is blue, and we used to have a John Deere one, and it was green, but this one holds slightly more, so we use it instead. We have all three combines running. Mine's been going pretty fast. I mean, this is a big swath, and it's 2.3. Although I wasn't going as fast the first couple days, you don't want to push anything too far. I kind of now have a better feel for what speed my combine will go without pushing past the limit. You go to it, but not past it. If you do go to the limit, you have to pay really close attention though. And your combine will let you know if it is taking in too much grain. It will kind of make a grunting noise. That just means it's processing too much grain at once. I think a lot of people are harvesting now. It was touch and go earlier, but now most people's wheat is ripe. It would be so interesting to learn what harvests are like in different parts of the country, and even other farms in Montana, because everyone does it a little differently, and every family, for example, my great-grandfather homesteaded, and then when my grandfather took over, he taught him specific tricks, and that stayed through in the family, just a certain way of doing things. And interesting to learn how other farms or how other farmers, what their kind of process is like, and also share their story and why they believe it's important to buy local and U.S. made products, and really get an insight to not just why my family believes it's so important, but why it's important for every single farmer that people buy locally and in the U.S. I just filled the grain cart up with grain. Now he's headed back to the semi. I was the third person, and then that's our wheat swap. Just passing me. He always waves, which is awesome. I love it when people wave. But, oh my goodness, look at all this dust. I can hardly even see my wheat swath. That's what happens. I think actually I'm going to stop here so I can let him go. This is how much is left of our field. We probably won't finish it before dinner. Now he's turning around and starting his next row, which will be that one right there. I thought I'd start videoing because I'm at the top of a little hill here, and that's what it looks like down. It's really pretty, and it's a great view of the countryside and of Montana, and what Montana farming looks like. We're about to get in the combine whiteout. We pretty much are. It is very hard to see, but when you have two combines ahead of you and you're the third one back, and you're getting all the dust from all of them because my dad's dust is blowing back, and then Dan's dust with my dad's dust. Good morning, welcome to another day of Montana harvest. It's beautiful today. Right now I'm in this kind of funny loop, the way this guy swapped it. I'm going around all the way over here and then back to a row over there. So that's kind of interesting, and then this next row will do that too. Go all the way over there and back around. We just got done with lunch, and it was very good. It was a turkey and Swiss sandwich with beets as well. And one of our hired men, he really enjoys stocks, so I got to talk to him about that, and I love stocks too, and investing and finances. I find that very interesting, so that was kind of fun. Wheat can be used for straw, so we take the grain, and the part that goes out the back can be used for straw. We have, I mentioned this in a previous episode, but we have straw choppers on our combine, and basically what it does is the wheat straw comes in full. They get the head part off of the wheat, and then the wheat stem goes through and out the back if you take your straw choppers out in its full form, and then people come and bale it like they would hay, and it's pretty cool to watch actually. And then they can use it for straw for livestock, or horses or animals, cows, whatever you'd like to use straw for. Now I thought I'd talk about how we measure the wheat we cut. So we don't measure in gallons or anything like that. We would or in cups, or in not a standard measurement. There's something called a bushel, and a bushel of wheat is like a big basket of wheat, like about this big. And And that's how we measure our wheat. So our
Full, Austin?
truck guy just asked the cart guy if he was full. Our combines can tell how many bushels of wheat we cut.
No, not yet.
So a lot of farmers, you'll hear them say bushels per acre. Oh, this crop was this many, 60 bushels per acre. This crop was running 40 bushels. This, I had a bad crop, it was running maybe 10 bushels an acre. Like, that would be horrible. That is what it means, and now you know. When someone says bushels per acre, you know exactly what it means. And if that was something new you learned today, make sure to comment that down below so I can include more little fun tidbits like that in the videos. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and like this video for more like it in order to learn what farmers do so you can have food on your table. Also, you can find me on my website, www.katesegg.com, and you can hear a little bit more about my story and the product coming soon, which is very exciting. I'm actually going to be working on that tomorrow morning. I have a meeting at 9:30 a.m. It's always a little harder to steer when you're in third gear going 19 miles an hour because a little steer takes you a long way and you can get to the point where you can hardly get it back and you just have to do a bunch of steering, and so it's a little bit scary, but if you get it down and you just make little movements with the steering wheel, it's okay.
We have a pickup coming.
When we have a pickup coming from the front or behind, since a combine takes the whole road, we might have to get off the road. At night, you have to weave in and out of them with the big headers. Our grain loader is now moving fields to come over to those bins over there because they filled the last bin. So there it goes. It's on the highway also. He'll be turning in here in a little bit. Right now they're backing up the grain loader to the bin with the tractor on it. There we go. I cannot believe the amount of baby pheasants in these wheat swaths. I've seen in the past 2 wheat swaths, well actually in the earlier one today, 6 pheasants. But they weren't as small as the ones yesterday. They were probably maybe 1.5 to 2 inches big, not just a little tiny. They could, probably 2 inches, they could fly a little bit. And then I just saw another 2. There used to be a lot of pheasants here, and then too many people hunted them, and now there's not hardly any. So Dan just said his thrasher speed light buzzer thing
No go.
was going off, so Uncle Chris told him to pull out of the wheat swath and stop his combine, turn it off, cool it down, start it back up, and see if that helped. And Dan just said it didn't help, which is not good. My dad said he's probably probably abusing it, like he's using it too much. But I don't know.
It must be the rotor sensor then.
Uncle Chris just said there's nothing that we can do until tomorrow. So he just has to keep going with a huge buzzer that doesn't stop. I think it's about 5:30, so dinner will be coming up pretty soon.
Hey Mark, coffee?
That's dinner, that's our cook.
Copy.
Right at the schoolhouse, and up a mile or two?
Keep going along till you see the 3 grain bins, you know, and it'll be on your left on the south side. It's about 2 miles.
Hey.
Well, I'm going to end the video off here. Thank you very much for watching and come back next